So, yeah, I think the thing that has always been celebrated about the show is that the character's sexuality has always been in the background. It's not the main focus of the show, and so if someone dies, it's just because they have to die in the plot of the story, and it's not, because the queer story is done now and we're done with that.
When almost all the characters are gay, it's not like the token lesbian's dying. It's just like a character.
Yeah.
But again, they do have the tendency to come back, as we now know. As we now know, Maddie's back too.
That was
I mean, it's very much the same, but if not just larger and even more supportive now, which is such a gift. And I think what I've learned about the fandom is that they needed representation so much. Like they were just so desperate for positive representation. And it was always important to me, but it's become even more important to me, and they've taught me a lot. Because I didn't realize how much they truly needed it, so I just feel really lucky that I get to play this character, and it's really neat for me to also be a voice for their community. I mean, I identify as pansexual, so for me, even just being a role model for bi and pan girls who, like, you're like, hey, we do. Yeah, I mean, who don't always have a voice either, is just been such a gift.
Yeah. And I think, the show has grown so much over 2 years, and we've grown so much over 2 years. It's cool to see the audience growing with us as well. Right. And so I think, especially there's so many new things in season 3, and I think everyone's really absorbing it well. And yeah, it's been a cool journey.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there definitely are. It changes. I mean, we get rewrites even up until, the day before sometimes, the day before we shoot. But something we were really lucky to have this season is the producers and writer really trusted us that we knew our characters. So we had a little bit more leeway to say, I don't know that Carmilla would say that. Or hey, can we add this extra little moment between Lauren and Carmilla? Because, there were a couple things where we wanted to have a bit more of a back and forth, and we wanted to ad-lib a little bit, so in times when they're bickering or fighting, that was Elise and I kind of ad-libbing a little bit. But I mean, the writing's so fantastic, so it was really just adding a little bit more, these little looks and moments that, almost can't be scripted in a way, but
totally.
we were just really lucky that they allowed us to do that, because I think we were very shy in the first 2 seasons about, really sticking to the script, and
Yeah, I think, when things are changing and moving at such a rapid pace, you really have to be willing to let go and go with the flow of things. And that's something I've definitely been learning through this process of filming, is that, you come in with ideas, and you come in with all of your work done, and then you just sort of let things unfold the way that they will. And that changes from moment to moment, and luckily Natasha and I have such great chemistry and such a great working relationship that some really beautiful moments in the season were born just in the moment, which I love. That's the best as an actor. So yeah, I think really letting go has been an important lesson for me, especially when we film so quickly. You're done the scene, good, we got the take. Not perfect, moving on. All right, let's get to the next one.
Letting go is a big one. We definitely learned to just move on and push forward, because we do shoot it so quickly. And the funny thing is, we just thought that that's how when we shot season 1, we mostly came from theater. Yeah. So we sort of said, this is, I guess, just the way things are done. And then now that we've done more film and television,
this is insane.
This is a crazy shoot schedule.
Yeah.
So
and learning to trust as well.
Yeah. Okay. I think Pam from True Blood.
Great word.
Yeah, I think they'd have a really fun time.
Hilarious.
Together. Who did you think?
I was thinking kind of Pam, but also Lestat. I could totally see you you two philosophizing together, just drinking. But you definitely outdrink him though.
Yeah. write. I am most creative at really weird hours, like 3 a.m. So I usually write things in the middle of the night. Yeah.
I do love skinny dipping in the dark when it is pitch black and you are in a lake and all you can see is the stars and like there's no difference between the sky and the water.
Sounds like my nightmare.
That is like a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Awful. I will be sitting on the dock just being like, please don't die.
You'll be like writing and I'll just be like
I did that this summer and I was like, no, never again. I don't know what's in here. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Monsters.
Yeah, everything.
It's such a blur.
I know.
Shoot it so quickly. We're always like, what happened in every episode?
what did we do?
I have no idea. Gosh.
I mean, I think like episode 36 in season 1 was pretty great. Like the moment where they finally sort of like, after all that build up during season 1, when they finally let their guard down and let each other in, like to me that's a huge part of what this web series is the love story between the two, as an underlying thing during all these other events that are happening and taking place. But that was such a beautiful moment. I really liked that one.
Yeah, it was kind of like built up, and I think we were a bit nervous, but it was one of the last things we shot, and that was really great. And then for season 2, I can't remember what episode it is, but I really like the moments where Lauren and Carmilla are sort of away from the camera and having their own sort of private moments on the couch. I think we really liked those too.
Yeah, those were definitely.
Yeah,
some of the stuff where it's like a little bit less, where the characters are aware of the camera, and when it's more private moments, those I like a lot more. I think personally, I can't predict the future, and I didn't necessarily know, but I always did have some weird feeling. I don't know why. And I think part of that is that as an actor, you always just have to have faith that things are going to work out. And I think people always kind of want to have that feeling that, yes, that like, you know, a positive intention for what it is. I think sometimes people can get a bit blinded, and, you know, I don't think blind faith is a good thing. But there was always like a little tickle of something that I was like, I don't know, but I sensed good things for this show.
Yeah, I was familiar with Smoke Bomb Entertainment's work beforehand, and I knew that they had a great track record and that their shows were quite successful. It still surpassed my wildest dreams. Like, I didn't expect it to be as big as it is. I thought, oh, this is a great company. This is going to be a decent show. I read the breakdown, and from the moment I read the breakdown, I said, that's the part I want to play, that's the part I want to audition for, and I called my agent and I was like, please get me on an audition for this, because I just felt immediately connected to her from the second I read her description. But yeah, and in terms of like going to New York Comic Con, that I could have never imagined 2 years ago.
Right.
When we got the scripts, it was a surprise to us as well, yeah.
And we generally get all the scripts at once. Except in season 1, we filmed half of the season in 2 days, and didn't actually, when we filmed the first half of season 1, we didn't yet know how the season ended. So that was a bit of a surprise. But season 2 and season 3, we get all 36 episodes at once. But yeah, we don't really get any insider information.
No.
The actors are always like the last to know.
We're always gasping and screaming and texting each other in all caps as soon as we read the script.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. I like it that way.
Yeah, it's exciting. In terms of difficult scenes to shoot, though, the funniest thing is people expect us to say, like, you know, these big dramatic scenes, and when we're present, it's actually not the most difficult. I mean, it's very cathartic. The most difficult scenes to shoot are the simplest things you would never imagine. Literally, the most difficult thing for me to shoot in season 3 was dropping those damn glasses and stepping on them at the right time. That was the hardest thing. Spencer made me do it like 10 times. Comedic timing and physical comedy has to be so precise, and those montage scenes are always the hardest thing to shoot. It's just like, sometimes it's just like breathing or walking is the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Do you get to rehearse at any,
Like we rehearse it once right on the
right
set,
before.
like right before you shoot it.
And sometimes we shoot the rehearsal.
Yeah.
So if
And then
we're-
they're
if
like,
we're
"That's not
feeling
bad, we're
brave,
keeping
like,
it." Yeah.
We're like, they're like, shoot the rehearsal, and we're like, yeah.
Okay. And sometimes
Sometimes
that's the
it
take.
goes horribly, sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find the little montage scenes especially difficult.
Yeah.
Like that one where like the book needed to drop on your head, and we had
Yeah.
like no time, and we're like, okay, let's just like bang this out, and then it like takes forever.
Yeah, because someone was bad aim
Yeah.
or a duck away.
You're like, I don't want to get any books.
Yeah. Or prop books.
Yeah.
It still kind of hurt. But anyway.
All of them.
All of them.
Everyone's
It's a very good diplomatic answer. Yeah, I love playing off all of them. And I love watching Annie and Sophia work together. Yeah, like when we're not working with them. Yeah. Watching those episodes with them together recently that just dropped, we were like, wow, these are two like womanly like powerhouses. And they're so fun to watch.
Like dripping in talent.
Yeah.
So good. And there's more to come.
Yeah.
They're so good. Yeah, I mean, it's so incredible. Like, it is such a stacked cast, and
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible to get a group of people that are all so talented and diverse and wonderful as we have.
Yeah. They're all
And
great to work with for different reasons.
yeah, like everyone like brings something so unique and new to the set, which I think is awesome. I did get the chance this year to work with a new actor, Enrico Colantoni, who played my dad, and like sometimes you just click with an actor for no reason, and him and I just had an instant connection, and I loved working with him so much. And I think one of the reasons that I loved working with him is because he was such fresh blood to the set, and you know, we film in such an untraditional way, and some of the takes are long takes, and what he would like, he just was so present and in it that even when things were going wrong, and he was like, like, where am I? I'm in like a magical library, like what's going on? He was just like so present, would stay in character, and some of the episodes where those little things are going wrong that we can probably tell that nobody else would ever know, but there's just like something that comes alive then because it's so real. Because like one time in an episode he didn't hear something that Natasha said, and so he's like, sorry, what did you say? And then she repeated, and that happens in real life. And I love seeing that on television because so often we present such like a filtered version of what goes down in real life. And in real life, you don't hear people and you trip on things and you stutter and you mess up your words. And that's so much more interesting to watch for me. Yeah, so I love it.
Was there a chemistry read with him, or they just like cast him?
No, I had I wasn't supposed to meet him until the morning of when we first shot, but I texted him or I messaged him and I said, hey, would you mind coming to set and just running lines with me? You know, it was after our first 12-hour day, and I just really wanted to meet him, and he was so kind and generous enough to come and meet me the night before. And we didn't even end up running lines, we just ended up talking and kind of running lines.
I wouldn't say that we were best friends right away, but I'd say there was a very palpable chemistry right away. Like, it took us a while to get to know each other because our work schedule was so crazy. We didn't really get to hang out on a personal level until much later. But for me personally, from the second we auditioned together, like both of us auditioned with several different Lauras and Carmillas. I think I auditioned with about like 8 different Lauras.
Wow, I don't think I did.
Yeah, like there were a lot, and maybe it felt like that anyway. There were a lot, and I remember Steph sort of asked me who I liked the best, and I just was like, yeah, something felt really great about her. I remember Steph texted me a photo of us together from the screen, and she was like, "This is like what we're thinking," and I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had never met each other before the chemistry read. We didn't have any initial auditions together. And it's true, like there was something very unique about our chemistry as soon as we read together that I think we both felt for sure. And like Natasha said, it was hard to, like, we were sort of like thrown into this crazy schedule right away that we didn't actually really have a chance to hang out a lot in season 1.
No.
But I feel like it kind of worked out nicely that we got to know each other
As the
personally
characters
as the
got to know
characters
each
got to
other.
know each other. Because I don't think Laura and Carmilla really know each other in season 1. Like
No.
they're sort of like very, you know, you said it really well in an interview a while ago. You said that they're infatuated with each other in season
Yeah.
1. And then
They do fall in love. I
Yeah.
do believe that they fall in love, absolutely.
But it is more
the
of an
initial
innocent
meeting
love.
is,
Like it's like a
yeah.
chemistry and that, and then they actually get to know each other more in season
respect.
2 and season 3, and that's when we started kind of like getting to know each other on a deeper level as well. So it worked out really like well in that sense.
I don't even have enough time to answer that question. This show has completely changed my life. And when fans say, you know, this show saved me, I'm saying, or your work saves me, I'm like, you have no idea how much it's saved me and helped me as well. So every single thing we do is a learning experience. I think it's been a really interesting introduction to being in the public eye, because we were very thrust into that, but on a small level at the same time, because it is a web series. So we've had a lot of practice with what it means to be an actor who is known, and then even on a personal level, like Elise and I have learned so much from each other, and yeah, I think it's just been. I never take for granted how lucky I am, because I've made so many lifelong friends in both the cast and the crew, and yeah, I just like don't even have enough time to answer that. It's like everything, like I just
Yeah. Oh man, I'm on the same page. I feel the same way. Like there's been so many life lessons that I've learned through this show, and I mean, this is such a time of growth for any human in their 20s, especially kind of at an accelerated pace, being thrown into something where, you know, you're put in the public eye for the first time, and it's a show where all these lessons are being learned. And I think a big thing for me is that, you know, that attention can be pretty seductive, and you want to start kind of like getting it at any cost then. And I think for me, like being the lead on a show is something that I always wanted, and then I got it and I realized it didn't actually make me happy in the way that I thought it would, and fulfilled in the way that I thought it would. And I think one of the biggest takeaways for me was realizing that it's never about like the end result is never the satisfying thing. The work up until that point is the satisfying thing, and so, you know, it wasn't like the attention that made me satisfied. It was like the work that we get to do together is awesome.
yeah,
And
that we were
like
lucky
the
enough
biggest-
to do it for 2 years.
Yeah. So I think that's been the biggest takeaway for me too. And that from an acting perspective, something that I've been learning is that it's never about me. It is always about the story. And that's something that I especially learned season 3, I think.